Court is calling 2024 CR 1707, State of Texas versus Regina Weaver. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Daniel Escobar from the State of Texas.
Defense?
Eddie Brovinick for Miss Weaver.
And are you Miss Weaver?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry, you're going to need to put your purse down on one of the tables. Counsel, have you received all the discovery? Did you review it with your client?
I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Ms. Weaver, did you review the document entitled Application for Community Supervision or Deferred Adjudication with your attorney?
Yes.
Did you understand it and sign it?
Yes.
Did you review the true bill of indictment with your attorney? Did you understand it? Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
I do.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Judge, we're waiving the repeat offender enhancement allegation. And in addition, Judge, just to put on the record, defense did ask about possible surveillance video from inside the Bexar County Jail on this case. I had emailed out to the detective, forwarded on my request to someone at the Bexar County Jail. So far, we haven't gotten word of it, but I did inform the defense about that. But we decided to again make this offer to reach this agreement despite that.
All right, defense. Do you wish to proceed without that discovery if it exists?
We do. I went over the issue thoroughly with Miss Weaver, and honestly, I got her slightly better deal because of the issues with the discovery. And I went over it and said, look, if you truly didn't do this, we should wait for the video. In spite of that advice, Ms. Weaver chose to go forward. So it did help her, although there was that out-descending discovery issue. So I went over each and every issue on the case, and she was satisfied that she still wanted to go forward.
All right. And state, other than waiving the repeat offender enhancement allegation, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
Yes, Judge.
Any objection to the state's waiver?
No.
All right, Ms. Weaver, did you review the document entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes.
Did you understand you're charged by indictment with possession of a controlled substance, penalty group 1, 4 grams to 200 grams, that's a second-degree felony. Range of punishment is anywhere from 2 to 20 years in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand? If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand? Counsel, are there any such motions?
You have not.
Outside the agreement, the state is requesting that your community supervision be for a term of 3 years, that there be a TAP evaluation and 120 hours of community service restitution. Did you understand those were recommendations from the state and the court does not have to follow those recommendations?
Yes, ma'am.
Then to the offenses charged, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No.
State, any evidence?
State offer State Exhibit 1 and all attachments.
No objections.
All right, did you review, state, you may be excused. Did you review the document entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent?
Yes.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there'll be no live testimony? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments. Court has reviewed the same. The court will find there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication.
It's impressive how the judge keeps things on track, despite the defense lawyers trying to make a big deal out of missing videos. Even though they tried to turn it into a huge issue, the judge calmly moves the case forward without letting these small distractions get in the way. The defendant clearly understands the charges and what's at stake, but the judge still makes sure everything stays organized and on point. It's as if the judge is in full control, while others are still trying to figure out what's going on.
Are we proceeding with sentencing?
If the court would allow us, yes.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
No, Your Honor.
All right. So I have a few questions. So do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am.
What are their ages?
21, 14, 9, 8, and 7.
All right. And where are they? Who do they live with?
My 14-year-old lives with me. My 21-year-old is out of the house, and I share custody with the younger 3.
If you're drug tested today, what are the results going to be? And you're going to get drug tested. Here's the thing, you need to be honest with me.
Yes, ma'am. The medication that I take, I don't know how it comes up on the test, but I do take medications
For what?
for anxiety and depression.
I'm sorry, what?
Anxiety and depression.
And so
And
what were you doing with meth? I don't know how they missed that at the jail, but they say it was found when they were doing cell checks at the jail, and that you were attempting to flush something down the toilet.
I had just come back from the hospital having an x-ray done, and it was found in the cell with me. There was nothing found on me. It was in the cell, and I'm not too sure.
I think what her real question is, you've used meth, right?
Yes.
All right.
Because it's saying that it was found inside her bra.
Yes, I think it stated that it was being flushed down the toilet and that it was found inside a bra. I think she's I don't know. I mean, she may say differently. I think her concern is the drugs, right? Using drugs. And she wants to tell you to tell her.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to understand, because what I'm reading, the stipulations that you stipulated to, it says detention staff were conducting cell checks, and they noticed you attempting to flush something down the toilet. Detention guard Garcia then requested for additional help in restraining you and retrieving E2. I was then advised the detention staff then conducted a strip search of everyone in the cell.
Nice.
And located E1 inside AP1's bra. I was then advised that AP told the detention guards that E2 was located inside her underwear. So they're saying that you told them it was located in your underwear. Both locations, which would constitute a strip search. So they're saying they found it in the underwear and the bra.
So
and then
Judge, if I may, I'm sorry, and I had trouble with this first. When they said underwear and she admitted to underwear, I don't think they ever found it in her, her panties. But some people, when they say underwear, they mean bra and panties or underwear. And some people, it's like your panties. So when she said underwear, I think she was referring to her bra, I don't think anyone is saying that they found it in her panties area.
Well, what I'm reading from the police report is that they're saying bra and underwear, and they said both locations.
Yeah, so Judge, I literally, I don't think it says they found it in both. I think she says I admitted it with underwear, and I don't mean to make a mountain on a molehill, but I think when she says she admitted it was in her underwear, she means she's admitting that it's in her bra. And I don't think that the state would say, nor does anyone saying that.
So here's the thing, that what I'm reading in the report, whether it's underwear or bra, it's on her.
Yes.
And it's not something from the hospital, because they're saying it was in clear bagging. Unless the hospital has started putting their medications in clear baggies.
Yep.
No, ma'am. It was in a wrapper for a sanitary napkin.
Ew, that's gross.
Okay.
And it was in the cell with me. I do have an issue with I used previously, but since then I've stopped using and attempted to get things back on track in my life.
Okay. So are you employed?
No, ma'am, not currently. I was on full house arrest.
All right. So have you ever had employment?
Yes.
Doing what?
I was a server for a restaurant for a while, and then for the past, I want to say, a year or so, I haven't.
Can you speak up, ma'am?
Yes. For the past year or so, I haven't been employed just because I was trying to. I actually lived in Louisville, and then I moved back here to San Antonio. While I was moving was when this incident occurred.
The judge has a unique way of handling things with a perfect balance of sharp focus and incredible patience. They cut through all the drama effortlessly, digging into the details and making sure every question is asked thoroughly and every answer is scrutinized. It's almost like they have an instinct for spotting even the smallest contradictions. Who doesn't love a good twist in the courtroom, right? While everyone else stumbles around, the judge remains calm and collected, expertly keeping everything under control. Truly, they know how to steal the show.
All right, who lives with you with your children?
Myself and my grandfather.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to sentence you to 4 years deferred adjudication. There's going to be a referral to felony drug court. She can do that out of custody. Do not miss that appointment. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And there'll be a TAP evaluation out of custody. Follow recommendations. And you need to let felony drug court know about your drug history and your drug issues. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
There's a $500 fine that will be probated. I'm going to order the UA hotline until further notice. And we're going to have you do a drug test today. No later than 3 p.m.
Yes, ma'am.
And they'll give you the location.
Yes, ma'am.
There's to be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Proof of employment within 45 days. There's to be no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's going to be 90 sober meetings in 90 days. Field visits 1 time per month until in treatment. There's to be 200 hours of community service restitution. I'm going to order parenting classes. Once you complete the parenting classes, the community service hours will be deemed satisfied. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. Once you've started parenting classes, your counsel can approach me about that, and I'll consider changing that. Take in consideration 2024 CR 2832.
Chief, I'm sorry, may I ask a question?
Yes.
I'm sorry, when you say no unsupervised contact, you mean minors besides your children? Because
Children, period. So she says she lives with her grandfather, so I'm assuming her grandfather is there.
but I think her testimony is her 14-year-old is currently with her.
Yes.
But I don't know what we do with a 14-year-old.
But no, she said that she was, I said, who's living with you and your children? And she said her the grandfather.
Yeah.
So my concern, if the court says no unsupervised contact, so the grandfather is sufficient to satisfy. All right. I'm just making sure I don't set her up for failure.
All right. Thank you. Take in consideration 2024 CR 2832. And there's to be restitution, if any, to the Bexar County laboratory for drug testing. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes.
And did you sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
We can go off the record. In this court, to be successful on probation, communication is key. If you have an issue, let probation know. If you feel as though they're not addressing it, you can always come back to the court. Do you understand?
The judge is clearly in control, ensuring that every detail is covered, from sentencing to drug tests. There's no room for mistakes here. Parenting classes, drug court, community service, and close supervision are all part of the plan. It's as if the judge has a step-by-step guide to getting this person back on the right path, with zero tolerance for setbacks. A clear reminder that real change takes hard work and commitment.